and I'm going to talk about the question I put forward. The first one was STEAM stands for Together Everyone Achieve More. And I've been working on, I'm just going to start this. I'm going to go through a couple of slides about this because of the time limitation. But firstly, I'm going to show you. It's basically in a team, all you manage is a two thing, is a task and the communication. When you're working in a team, all you do some task and you communicate with each other. If you look at our meeting happening now, that's all we're doing. We're given some tasks to different team members, and now we are communicating with each other what we've done, what we're going to do, and that's what we did. Me, Hamza, we worked together last couple of days, and we distributed a task about the meeting, and then we start to work on it. And we've been telling each other through the Google Sheet what we've done. So the first word I put it there, your commitment should be with your task, not with the team member. If you do your task well, automatically you're committed to the team. Because if I'm very good with the communicating with my team, but not doing my task, and I'm still saying I'm committed to the team, doesn't make sense, does it? So moving forward, this is quite a big thing which we're going to run later on in a complete session, but I'm going to show you two things here. One is task component. I want you to just focus on that. I'm not going to go, I actually might be just go through what are the 3 C mean, which is very important. First, working in a team, you should believe in 3 things. The first one is a communication, which is very, very important. As I said, if you do a task and don't tell anybody, that's a problem as well. The second thing is a commitment with the task. That is been explained to many times, different groups, but they don't get it. Some people ask me, how can I be committed to the task or to the team if I don't know how to do the task? That's a very valid question. That if I don't know how to do the task, how can I be committed to the task or to the team? My answer to this is you use the communication power and collaboration power to overcome this problem. If I don't know how to do the task, I communicate with the team that I don't know how to do the task. Then you collaborate with others who will help you to get this, teach you, or do a bit of task, you do a bit of task, or you do together. So the last part is the collaboration. In a team, there's no person does the task themselves. At the end, they need to work with other people, especially in a bigger task where nobody can complete it alone anyway. Okay, so our meeting is an excellent example for that we look at the 6 people learning together and everybody chipping in some part of the actual task, which is going to run a meeting. Now I'm going to go back to what is task itself. I'll try to stick with the concept from the school or education point of view. Each task has 4 components. One is a planning. Second is the execution. The third one is administration or documentation. And the fourth one is a closing, a wrapping up, a follow-up, a feedback. These 4 things, what we saw in different tasks, there'll be different things will be applied. These words looks very bookish and they look very big words, but when you go on a practical example, then you say, yep, that makes sense. I normally use one example so often. when I ask a student when they come for a work experience, the first thing I say, can you get me water? And you know what they do? They jump into execution. They rush to the kitchen and get me a glass of water. And I say, I need a bucket because there's a fire around me. I need to turn it off. And they laugh. I say, why didn't you tell me? And I ask them, why didn't you ask me? So that means they miss the planning thing. So whenever you've been given a task, the golden rule is, that you plan it first. You ask the ultimate purpose of the task. That will be the first question you should ask. So anybody come to you and ask you anything, you can put any example to me. I'll later answer to those. So if somebody come and ask you, can I get a water, or can I get a piece of cloth, you should ask, what do you need it for? So mean you're trying to know the ultimate purpose of the task. Once you know the ultimate purpose of it, then you can plan it. When somebody say, can you make me a tea? You just say, it is for yourself. Or your teacher asks you to, can you finish your work? And then you, without understanding what work is want or something, you jump into execution. And that is common human behavior. But it's a very unstructured approach, or it's very undisciplined approach when you jump into execution without planning. Planning is become important, more and more important. You need to know the actual goal of the actual task. So it's become more important when your tasks are bigger. Think about if you're planning a wedding, you require a lot of time as compared to planning to go to bathroom. All you have to think, make sure bathroom available, you just rush into it. So execution, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but if you are executing a task which is repetitive, you're doing many times, all I'm going to say, you do only one and seek for feedback, seek for advice, or say, look, you're happy with the thing, what I'm doing, rather than you keep doing. At the end, it happens with me. I ask the person, can you sort these things into alphabetical order? He didn't ask me, you want the A to Z or Z to A. It was physical thing. He started to put all those files in an order, but in an opposite way. So he had to do the whole thing again just because he didn't ask the ultimate purpose. So if he's done 4 or 5 of them and say, look, that's where you want, is it? Then I say, oh, no, it should need to be the other way around. The third one, which is not many people required if you're doing a single task, are you doing a small task? But in a bigger task, or if you're especially working in an office or working in a team, then there will be a little bit administration and documentation work. Think about, for example, I asked Shan to prepare your presentation, so-called, or something he is going to present. And I asked him, did you do it? And so he prepared his slide, which is the administrative work. It's a proof that he prepared his things. And also he sent a mail to me, say, look, he has done it. And similarly, he showed me his notes. So these are the things are basically administrative work. And these are very, very important when you're working in a mobile team or team which is distributed like we are. We are all sitting in our homes. How do we know who's doing what? But as contrast, if we are working together, this is enough for me. If I say, Ali, I have done this, that sentence will cover the administration part. Okay. And the closing and wrapping up or follow-up or feedback is basically, this part is also skipped by many students. I've seen, you give them a task, they do it and sit down. They never come and say, look, I've done the task, I clean up the area, or they just assume that we will know by magic. I say, no, you need to come and say, look, I've done the task, what's the next? Should I have a break? Or can you give me feedback? So these two, planning and closing, mostly skipped by the students. In the school environment, whenever you give an assignment, make sure you know the ultimate purpose, do a little bit of work, seek for feedback, especially on a bigger assignment. Don't keep doing it, and at the end when you take it to the teacher and he says, oh no, I was expecting something different. He might acknowledge very passionately, say, look, you've done an excellent job, but that's not what I want. So how can you overcome that? You basically do a little bit of work and say, can you look at it? I'm on the right track. This will give him a lot of confidence about you. Like, this guy already started the work. He's also showing his work as well. And he will happy to guide you further rather than you work alone in this, not alone, I mean, in a hidden way. You just keep doing the work and not sharing with anybody. Then at the end you will have a risk of going in the wrong way. Similarly, when you finish your task, make sure you submit on time. So this about it, how we got a little bit work on hand. So I'm going to quickly give you one more thing, which I'm going to skip this. I'm going to speak this. I'm going to talk about something which is very, very important. It's not here, so I will record it anyway. If you're given a task, you have three scenarios. It's actually here. The scenario one is that you know the task, you have a time, you do it, you do the admin work, you close the task, happy ending. This is second scenario is where you can't do the task. It can be you are incapable to do it, or you don't have time. So what are you going to do? Can you just put your thought there if you don't know how to do the task, or you don't have time, or you can't do it? What's the first thing you should do? Can you put your thoughts there? That is the main thing I want to convey. Not doing in the task is not a big challenge if excellent. Yeah, that's good, Shan. That is the thing. Wouldn't you communicate with, let the team know. Excellent.
Sorry for interrupting, but what was the question again?
The question is, if you are incapable to complete the task by any reason. That's, I mean, Yashraf and Akhtar brother just said, let the team know. That's the first thing you need to do. The ideal would be to ask somebody, can you do it? Help me. This is a very good approach. But if either case, you can't find a help, you can't do it, as early as possible, you tell the person, think about it. You're working in a team. We are making, let's say, an assignment, and we distribute the task. Everybody is working on their task, and we decided to join our work on Thursday night. Next Thursday night, we need to complete our task and submit on Friday morning. And that one person is got sick. So what he should do? Immediately, some way or form, send a message, look, I'm sick, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Then you ask somebody, can you do my task, or can I, if I don't get well, can you help me or something? But you inform others so they have a plan B. But on Thursday night when they're joining, they will be really upset. Okay? So that's what I say. If you know the problem, then you have a solution to deal with. But if you don't know the problem, then it's a very big problem when it comes up right at the time of delivery. So that was the talk about it. I don't know how fast the Hamza was to making a Kahoot about it. But any question about, these are the things I expect in our team when we distribute a task, you take the role. Like I had one apology and I really appreciate it. Look at that. I thank you to brother for informing that he can't be in the meeting, and somebody else took the time timekeeper role. So it was a small task, but if look at that, if you are doing a presentation, think about if Peter doesn't come up on the 9th of September, then, and he doesn't inform either, then it's going to be really embarrassing for the, if there were 10 or 12 people sitting there for waiting for him. Any question about